you guys out. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, this is Miss Whitley Pope. I'm glad she's here tonight. We got about 14 people on so far. And as they come in, I will be letting people in, but I am doing a replay for those that miss it and those that just kind of want to hear the repeat of, understanding. Because I know for me, I sometimes have to review something more than once so that I can kind of, be able to really intake what I'm listening to so that I can make sure that I understand and get the proper understanding, because I live by wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And if I don't understand something, I won't execute. So that's basically what I'm saying, okay? So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let Miss Whitney start. Whitley, you wanna go ahead and jump on, sweetie?
Yeah, can you guys hear me just fine?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can I get a hoot and a holla?
Holla! Yeah.
Yeah, I do apologize for my
Good
camera
job.
not being on, guys. It's been a rough weekend. I haven't left the house since Thursday of last week. It's been rough, but I am pushing through, and I'm so glad that you guys hopped on tonight. Tawana is one of the best partners I have, and she really cares about, putting information in front of her people and in front of her network and in front of her trusted friends. And I'm excited and blessed to work with her. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more about our services here at ADP, kind of why it's so important for like small business owners, and to give you an idea of how it's never too early to get started with ADP. And if anything, now is the time. But that being said, Tawana, am I able to share my screen?
You should be able to, let me see if I can. Multiple participants can simultaneously advance. Let me see.
You might have to make me the host.
Okay. Now, how do I do that with?
Uh,
I'm at the bottom where it says share screen.
Actually, you can actually make it to where it's it says more than one participant can. If you go to share screen, right there, it'll say that you can share with multiple. Yeah, and then that way she'll be able to share her screen.
Okay. You got it, Whit? I just did it, so you should be able to hop on and share your screen.
Yep, I got it. Okay. So got a little slideshow put together for you guys. I'll try not to keep it, or try not to make it boring. Okay. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it straight, and I'm going to try to be as to the point as I can. So if I'm rambling, just let me know. But just a little brief overview of what we're going to go over. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then talk about ADP for a little bit, talk about the different services and our wide breadth of products that we do have, and then talk about the process of getting started, from A to Z, what does that look like, and then the different package options and how we'll get you going. So a little bit about me. I actually was born and raised in Alabama. Believe it or not, I've tried my hardest to lose the accent, but I'm in Atlanta now. Love my Atlanta people, a bunch of hustlers like me. And so I really do love what I do. And it's because of all the entrepreneurs, not just in Atlanta, but across the country. And then I did go to Auburn University, so War Eagle, to anyone out there that might go for Auburn. And then a bunch of stuff, but pressure does make diamonds. I know, Tawana, you mentioned a little your motto earlier, but mine is probably the opposite. It's pressure makes diamonds. And also you guys will see in the right here, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but my little doggy Ruthie, I apologize in advance. She's loud yaps all the time, but I do try to contain her most days. But a little bit about ADP. If you guys haven't heard of ADP, and I actually had someone today I called and they were like, They were like 8-day pay. They were like the home security system. And I was like, no. Oh my God. I was like, my head was already throbbing. And I was like, no, the payroll company. But ADP is the largest payroll company out there. But the cool thing about it is, which I didn't know, is that we do pay 1 in 5 people in the United States, but ADP has an entire division designed just for the small business owner. And what they recognize as a small business is anyone with 1 to 49 employees, even if that 1 employee is the owner. And so to give you an idea, like almost all of my clients are owners just paying themselves on paper and on payroll for the very first time. And they're doing that because it's so important to show a proof of income for yourself, because when you go to try to apply for loans, when you try to rent apartments, like whatever it might be, if like you are making your business your full-time thing, they're not always going to accept whatever your business income's bringing in. So it's really important to put yourself on paper as an employee of a company. And the cool thing about it is you'll be putting yourself on as an employee of your own company. I always tell my clients, I'm like, I can't wait for the day I get to sign my first check. I just need to come up with a business model first. But ADP is a lot more than just payroll. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of echoing. Okay, now I'm not. From like, you know, hiring to retiring. So even in our basic like payroll system, you guys will see that we do have ZipRecruiter access, so that you guys will be able to access like hiring tools to help you hire people when you're ready. Whether you use it or not, just know it's there. And just know that from hiring to retiring, we have retirement plans, tax credits, the whole 9 yards, health insurance. But the way that my process rolls anyways, I don't know if it's the same for every ADP representative, but I like to keep it simple. So usually like the first call is kind of what we're doing today. Usually the conversation I'm having with everybody is exactly what I'm having with you guys. So if you hear this recording and you hear this conversation, it's literally exactly whatever I normally would say to anyone I would have an initial conversation with. So normally it's the initial meeting, you know, us going over the different payroll package options, which we'll get to in a minute. And then also discussing whether you want to pay yourself or your employees as a 1099 or a W-2. Now, the difference between the two, a 1099, if you're paying yourself that way, no taxes will be taken out of every paycheck that you enter, you know, because it will be, your company will have the payroll system, but you are the owner, and you will see that your employees are loaded in the system, such as yourself. So when you go in to run payroll each week, you would enter the amount that you want to pay yourself for that given payroll. And if you were a W-2, we would take those taxes out of your paycheck, like many of you guys have probably had, if you've worked a W-2 job elsewhere. But not only do you have those taxes coming out of your paycheck as a business owner, any employer taxes that need to be calculated and taken out as well, we would take out. And so we kind of go over the differences usually in the initial meeting and kind of like lay it all out there as to which one you'd rather do. If you're doing the 1099 option, we're basically just record keeping for you, and we're providing you with legit pay stubs throughout the year for that 1099 employee, even if it's yourself. And then you're able to use that if you ever need to, like, let's say, buy a car and show a proof of income, like whatever it might be. So either way works. We treat everybody pretty much like whether you're a 1099 or W-2, it counts as an employee. So either way with us. And then once you've decided on whether you want to be a W-2 or 1099, which we're about to get into the package options, you would pick a package. After that, I go over the pricing. And then I would just, I like to keep it really casual. So I'll send you guys usually a text, which we'll get into in a little while, like a list of what I would need to get you started. And then once you send me that, normally every morning when I wake up, I have like people that I talked to the day before that have sent me their stuff, and I'm like creating the documents, and then I send you the information, you sign the pricing agreement, we submit to ADP, and then we wait on ADP to get the account ready. Once it's ready, you and I will slow down and we'll like take a look at everything that the system has to offer. We'll check over your information. I'll literally hold your hand through the whole process. And then when you're ready, we will approve the first payroll together. Now, because of Tawana, we are waiving the $200 setup fee. So this step right here, from the initial meeting to approving your first payroll, isn't going to cost a dime. And then you have until Thursday at 5 to submit a payroll for your employees to get paid the very next day. Even if it's the paper check route, like we are on your doorstep the very next day. It's so crazy. And then after you approve your first payroll, so the way that ADP's pricing works throughout the year, yes, you'll be getting your $200 setup fee waived. So you won't pay anything up front. But every time you run a payroll, 1 week later, our fee comes out. So you and I can talk about it like one-on-one as to like how. Also, I have no idea if I spelled bureaus right. I was trying to use autocorrect and then I was like rushing, trying to like throw this together real quick. So just ignore that if the spelling's wrong. But you and I will talk about like exactly how you want your thing set up, and I'll tell you all about like how often most people are paying themselves and things to that nature. So you don't have to know any of that in advance. But basically, every time you do run payroll, 1 week later, your ADP fee will come out. I always put you guys on like the cheapest option when it comes to like being flexible, unless you already have like employees that you pay bi-weekly or monthly. So like if you already have like a strict payroll schedule that you want the system to reflect, then I'll put you on whatever ADP would normally price that thing. But if you're kind of open to anything, I'm going to price you the way I price all my clients. It's like the lower fee and allows you to be able to run whenever you want to. That being said, after your first payroll is approved, you're now like you immediately have access to all the pay stubs and reports. 1 week later, your ADP fee will come out. And because of that little delay in you processing a payroll and then us pulling our fee, we are able to report that to the credit bureaus as a service on credit in a sense, and that you paid a clean payment to us like for our services. So we are the most heavily audited company. I mean, got to be top 3. Because we do the most payrolls in the States. So ADP is constantly being audited. What that means is these credit bureaus
capital Y
are constantly pulling from our system, or at least like data, at least when it comes to clean payments from clients. Right? So it's your business that's going to be on record here with us. And so like your business making clean payments is going to be building your business credit score. And it's huge because you want to one day be able to purchase things using your business instead of yourself, so that your credit score and your social is floating around, with things that you've purchased. Instead of your confidential information, your personal information being out there, you would be able to have your business information as the person or as the entity that purchased something or whatever it might be. Super important. Definitely spelled bureaus wrong, so just ignore that. But when you're ready to run your next payroll, you'll be able to do that, and I will help you if you have any questions. This is what the system looks like. The number one reason people do sign up is because of the proof of income. It's via ADP pay stubs. It's super, super important. And also ADP pay stubs are like no questions asked. Like if you provide those to a lender, you provide those to anyone, like they know they're legit. Like people know ADP, which is why it's so important. And the most common regret I get on a daily basis, well, not daily, but the most common regret I hear from people are people that decided that they weren't ready because their business is still so new. They're still trying to get their ducks in order. And totally, I tell them, I'm like, yep, well, I will be here when you're ready. So just give me a call because I'm not going anywhere. I love ADP. I will retire here. And they'll call me like 2 months later and they're like, I just got denied something like a car or something that they were trying to apply for because they didn't have pay stubs, because they were making their business their reality, they were making it their full-time thing. And then all of a sudden, when they needed to provide pay stubs, they didn't have that. So don't wait. even if you are starting a tiny paper trail in the beginning stages of your business, start it tiny, start it and start building it. You know, let people see that you're building on your business. Let those payments of every payroll that you run, let those start to build your business credit score. I partner with a lot of business credit repair specialists that like they'll send over their clients in waves for the sole purpose, not for payroll, not even for proof of income, just for the sole purpose of improving their business's credit score. And because we don't require a minimum credit score to get started. And then here are the two package options. They do 100% the same thing when it comes to payroll, but I wanted to show you guys just a breakdown of like the additional resources. So even in our basic package, you're going to have a membership to ZipRecruiter. So if you're thinking about hiring an employee or part-time help, or maybe you're posting something for a client of yours, you'll have access to that even in our most basic package. But in the HR package, you would have 2 job slots. Now in the starter package, you'd have 5 background checks a year, whereas in the HR package, you'd have 25. So that's kind of how it varies. The Google Ads is super new. I have no idea anything about it. ADP's that's the cool thing. I'll wake up and ADP has added something really useful to our payroll system for my clients to use. So I'm constantly like learning new things about the services ADP is currently offering. But let's just say instead of the starter package, you are more interested, like let's say that you do have established employees, or maybe you're just really trying to invest in your company and really trying to like do things the right way from a compliance standpoint. Our HR package is going to include an employee handbook, HR forms and documents, compliance database and updates, HR tracking, live HR team that you can call for any questions outside of payroll, really white glove service, the whole 9 yards, really allowing you to feel like you have an HR department at really only, compared to the starter package, it's probably $30 extra or $20 extra a process. So it's really not that big of a difference in price. They're both incredible packages. They do almost the same thing. You just get a little bit more bells and whistles in the HR package. And then this is a list of what I would need to get anyone signed up. Now, it varies based on if you're going to be a 1099 or W-2, whether I need your social or not, and whether you're going to be on the payroll or not. So this is just kind of basically a summary of what I normally need. We don't really need the EIN letter from the IRS. It's just normally a really easy thing you could take a picture of or a screenshot of, or it's something that most people have that has your company name and all that stuff on it. So that's normally why I ask for that. Mailing address, honestly, all the addresses we can change once your account is set up, because Duan is my partner, and so you guys aren't going to be paying anything up front for our services. So a lot of it you and I will change later. And then email address, business bank account information, and owner's information. Now, for the business bank account, we can get, like, let's say someone has an EIN, they're a new LLC, but they have not opened a business bank account. That's okay. We can use your personal bank account to have on file. Doesn't make a difference to me, doesn't make a difference to ADP. But the business bank account, if you're really trying to build your business credit, really trying to build that relationship with those banks and things like that, I would recommend a business bank account. And basically, we just need something to show that you're not plugging in a random person's bank account, because I've seen some crazy things before. I've even had ADP say that someone photoshopped a bank, or no, I think it was a voided check. They were like, yeah, that person photoshopped that voided check. And I was like, oh God. So we just need something that ADP can, like, our back office can look at and be like, okay, they didn't Photoshop anything, nothing like that. Something that has your full account number, company name, and bank name, all on the same document. The voided check, bank statement, or letter, those are just some examples. I just need one bank something that has it all on it, even if it's just the initial document they gave you when you opened your account. As long as it has your full account number, bank name, and company name on it. But other than that, that's really all I need. I like to keep it really simple, ask for the bare minimum up front, because you and I can change everything once your account is set up and ready. because Tawana and I's partnership, we're waiving that setup fee. So nothing is activated until you and I really take this thing for a spin. I like to say, you're in the driver's seat. I'm just in the passenger seat, helping you navigate along the way. I'm not going anywhere. I love what I do. So for the rest of forever, you guys will have my contact information, and you can always reach out to me if you have questions about ADP. That being said, my cell phone number is below, but Tawana, did you want them coming a certain way? Like, how did you want everything to go flow?
No, they can contact you directly. That's why I wanted to bring them on the call so that they will have your contact information. I want you guys to be in a habit of being aligned with my plugs and the people that I actually work with directly to get you guys to that next level. I'm here as a guide. I'm here to help you cross the finish line. I can lead you to water, but I cannot make you drink. I'm here to give you access to what you need to actually increase as far as your funding goes. A lot of times when you're getting funding, yeah, you don't need a whole lot of documents, but things are changing. The system is changing. They talk about that it's a recession. We know we're not in a recession, but we do need recession-proof tools. And ADP is one of the recession-proof tools that you need to actually get the funding that you're looking for. Before I left to go to Jamaica and came back, I have a client that got close to, she was right at the edge. We had a little something take place today, but it's okay. But she was right at the edge of $200,000. And with that being said, she had to have documents. She had to have her documents in order. So in order for me to get you that type of funding, which is 200,000 and up for my clients, that's what I normally get my clients around that range, 100 to 200,000 and up. If you're going to get that type of funding, you have to be prepared. You have to have everything in order. You have to have your business in order. Some places will ask for tax documentation as well. So it's important that we are aligned, we are together, and we have all of our ducks in a row so that we can actually utilize our business as corporations and get the access that large corporations have, because we can do that, but you can't do it if you're not in order. So basically, I want you to take the time out to utilize the information that Whitley is giving you guys and reach out to her. She's going to have your information, but I want you to circle back and really reach out to her and say, hey, this is what I want. Because this is how we weed out who's serious and who's not. I can tell you all day, like I said, but if you're really serious about your business, about your funding and having your money work for you, then this is the way to go. You cannot get the type of funding that I actually can get you if you're not set up properly and your business is not structured. Okay. So I want to take you guys from A to Z, but I need help. I need for you guys to help me as I bring in other people that will help you with other things as time progresses and things go on. Okay.
Yes, and just to kind of go off of that, if you guys don't mind, I think it would make everybody's lives a little bit easier. Also would help me because, like Tawana mentioned earlier, before the call got started, I am about to head out of the country. It's actually an ADP trip, pretty cool. They're taking me to Dublin. Very excited about that. I'll be with a lot of cohorts. But that being said, there's no one I trust to kind of like cover my new clients, really help you guys until I'm back. And I don't, because they'll all be with me in Dublin, the ones that I would want you guys to kind of work hand in hand with. So if you don't mind, and if you are serious about getting started or at least having the initial conversation, go ahead and save my number. It's on the screen. Go ahead and text me your first and last name, if you don't mind, and then go ahead and say that Tawana sent you or whatever it is, just so I know exactly how to take care of you. I want to make sure that I treat you guys with the knowledge of knowing that you've already been on one of these calls, like you kind of already know the drill, and that way I won't take up too much of your time when we do talk. And if you guys have any final questions, please come off mute and feel free to ask.
Hey Whitley, I'm interested in signing up with ADP. So if it's okay with you, can I text you now? You'll have my number.
Please do. Yeah, please do. Everybody's texting me now. Texting is like, you guys texting me your first and last name and kind of who referred you in a sense helps me so much because I go ahead and I immediately save your contact information. And whether you sign up now or sign up later, I at least have your contact information handy. So when you call me, and I get a million calls a day from random numbers. And so if I don't have the number saved, it's really hard for me to answer. So please, 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 if you're on this call tonight, go ahead and text my number. Go ahead and lock my number in your phone. That way, if I give you a call, you're expecting it, or at least you would know who's calling. And that way we can all kind of be partners together and help each other out.
And make sure when you text Whitley that you put down that you were on the call with Tawana Lee.
The one, the only.
Hey.
And Whitley, I got a question too. This is Rhonda. I think I had spoke with you briefly, but we never got to actually speak. But you know, I'm with another payroll company right now. What do I do about that?
Fire them.
No. Don't fire them
But
yet.
how to do it?
No. Don't fire them yet. The biggest mistake someone can make is
Don't listen to me, guys. Y'all better listen to Whitley.
yeah. The biggest mistake someone can make is, oh, okay, I'm going to sign up with ADP, and they terminate their services with their other company, and then all of a sudden filings were. I don't know if right now you have them making tax filings on your behalf. If
Yes,
you
they
do.
They do.
Please do not. Okay, please do not cancel until we have you officially signed up and ready, because you need someone always making those tax filing payments for you each month and quarter. So yeah, I bring people over all the time from these other payroll companies. So yeah, I'll be able to help out. And also there's always promotions and stuff. I don't like to get into the weeds of those because they change from month to month, and like there's nothing worse than thinking you're getting something and not being able to get it. So one-on-one, we can have those conversations with like what you guys are eligible for.
Okay. And I got one more question.
Yeah.
If I got other employees and I wanted to do those employees 1099 and do myself W-2, so I wouldn't be covering taxes for them. Is that possible?
And 100%, almost all of my clients starting out.
Okay, because I don't want to pay their taxes. I just want to pay mine.
Yeah, and so Rhonda, you're a great example because what a lot of people don't realize is like when you are paying, when you are paying a W-2 employee, something a lot of people don't realize is that you are paying like a little bit more than whatever the wage is that you are paying. Wait, can you guys see my screen still or no?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
I'm sitting here just bopping around.
Thank you.
Yes, but what a lot of people don't realize is that you are okay, here I go. Whatever. You are paying a portion of tax on that W-2's wage. So if you're paying a W-2 employee, you know, let's say
I don't cut some of it up already.
Whoever,
500.
mute yourself, please.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you guys just wait till you hear my dogs yapping and my friends in the background. But that being said, yeah, I mean, Rhonda, you've seen it firsthand. I mean, as a business owner, it might sound great to have W-2 employees. It might sound great to have all it really is a little bit of an investment. Like if you're going to pay a W-2 employee, you better do it through a payroll company, because if not, you are gonna have taxes out the wazoo that are out of compliance, that should have been filed when they were supposed to be filed, because there's a bunch of different agencies. So you literally, if you try to do it yourself, God bless you, because it's almost impossible, unless you have like an accounting background and you know all that stuff. So I know, Rhonda, you probably have noticed just by putting yourself as a W-2 probably on payroll that, hey, if I'm paying myself $1,000, I better have, I don't know, $1,300 or $1,200 like available
Yes.
because you have those employer taxes.
You
And so
gotta pay
I'm like one
taxes
of the,
on top.
exactly. So I'm like one of the only ADP representatives, I swear that like I warn people about that up front, because there is no point in us getting your account set up with the state departments, like the state tax departments, because if you're going to pay a W-2 employee, you need to go ahead and get registered with the state departments and all that. And then them see those employer taxes once the account is set up, their payroll account is set up, and then change their mind. Well, now the state, you got to go either close out this tax account numbers or they're going to be looking for filings. But yeah, long story short, 100%. I always encourage, if you're thinking about paying a W-2 employee, put yourself on payroll first as a W-2. Go ahead and see what that's all about. Plus, it's a win-win for you. And we have retirement plans. So right now, the rest of the year, for right now, keep in mind, this is one of those other promotions. So I really hate to even say it because with ADP, promotions come and go so quickly that I can never keep up. But right now we are offering simple IRAs for free the rest of the calendar year. And if you're a business owner paying yourself as a W-2 and you have a simple IRA in place, what that means is you can pick and choose how much you want to put into the plan out of each payroll. But whatever you put into the plan, that goes in there without Uncle Sam being able to tax you on that amount. So essentially what you could do if you're talking large numbers is you're dropping tax brackets like over the course of a year. So not only is the money going in there tax free, but you were still able to show, let's say you paid yourself $5,000. Not only were you able to show you paid yourself $5,000 in W-2 wage, but whatever goes into the retirement plan, like the government, let's say $1,000 went into the retirement plan, the government's only going to tax you as if you made 4,000. So you made 5,000, but the government's only going to tax you on the 4,000. So that 1,000 goes in there without taxes coming out, and all of a sudden starts to grow at a rapid interest rate that no savings account can. I have a high interest savings account that I like to put a portion of my paycheck into after tax. Nothing on my retirement plan. My retirement plan, it's so satisfying to check each time. I'm like,
Do you
checking
know
my
that
pay.
rate right offhand?
Do I know what?
The rate right offhand for the account?
The rate, what do you mean by the rate?
That the account grows by.
Oh, so it's been a minute, like, because it's only going on historical data, right? So historic data would say that it's going to grow at an interest rate of 8%, ADP's plans, but because it's not technically with us, it's with a third-party institution, but that might have changed. That is a good question. I can brush up on my facts, but I believe I used to say 8%.
That sounds good. 8% is good.
Yeah, I mean, because the IRS they cap you on what you're allowed to contribute in a year, and there's a reason for it. Because if you're maxing it out every year, like, that is a lot of interest that's building. And I mean, it really is incredible. Think long term, guys. I mean, I love investing in my future. So if you're interested in the retirement plan, I would recommend going the W-2 route. And go on ahead right now. The fact that we're offering our plan for free the rest of the year, and the IRS passed the Secure Act about a year ago, or like maybe it was like 9 months ago, they passed the Secure Act 2.0, but basically they're going to reimburse you 100% of whatever a plan costs the first 3 years of having the plan in place. And then also you're eligible for tax credits for every W-2 employee that's contributing to the plan, $1,000 per W-2. So, or up to $1,000 per W-2. So I'm not a licensed retirement professional, but it makes sense to me, which is why so many of my clients will simultaneously sign up for that when they put themselves on payroll. Any other questions for me?
Y'all better ask her all the questions that y'all need to ask while she's here.
You guys can also text, call, whatever you want to do. I'm available whenever. I won't be available the rest of the night. I am gonna lay down. Not feeling too hot.
Somebody
but-
asking questions in the chat.
Oh, can
Who
I?
has the questions in the chat? And if you do have questions in the chat, can you just
okay.
unmute yourself and ask her?
No. I can check. Give me a
Got it?
second.
Okay.
How do I? Unless someone wants to read it for me. Where is the chat?
They want to know the
box?
cost of the 2 payroll plans again. Tim wants to know what is the cost
Okay.
of the 2 payroll plans again.
So it varies, but if you're going to sign up the way that most of my clients sign up, I will be straight up. So basic plan, $54 each time you would run payroll. That includes the ZipRecruiter, the 5 background checks, full access to ADPs, like everything, like 24-hour customer support. And here's the thing, the $54 on the starter plan that you're paying for our services, that's what's getting reported to the credit bureaus. That's what's building your business credit. And the way I'll set my clients up, you're in control of how often you're paying that. So if you're really trying to build your business credit quickly, you're running payroll every week, right? You want to do it like 54. But let's say that you're really not in a place, like let's say you are a newer business owner and you're not in a place where you're like ready to like start like really rapidly investing in your business credit, then you can space out your payrolls however you'd like. That's how I operate. I'm like the most flexible when it comes to things, because I've just seen my dad own a business for so many years, and it's just like a lot of things that are created for small business owners doesn't make sense for small business owners. It really is about flexibility. But the starter plan, 54, the HR plan, 79. So those are both discounted, but the 79, to give you an idea, that's each time you run payroll. So if you run payroll every single week, it would be 79 every week. ZipRecruiter on the open market, which you're getting 2 job slots on ZipRecruiter, 25 background checks a year, HR forms and documents, and that employee handbook, and a lot of other things. You're like, I've had people that I've met with even 4 years ago that when I met with them, they were like paying maybe a nickel and a dime for payroll, but they were over there spending anywhere from $300 to $600 to $800 on ZipRecruiter every month, because it was an app, like a really important part of their business was hiring people and making sure they had the right candidates and stuff. So you basically get ZipRecruiter at a way lower rate, just included in ADP's HR system, than you could on the open market.
I have a question on the basic and the HR plan. So I am looking to have a employee handbook created. How difficult would it be for me to switch over when I'm ready? From basic to HR. Is that possible?
It is possible. But what I will say, and it's something we really haven't touched on too much, but like I always do on my one-on-ones, but starting out on the HR, you could literally downgrade at any point. like use it while you're using the services. And then what I always recommend, because there is a package actually above the HR package. It's called the HR Pro package. That package includes a lot of stuff that the HR package even doesn't, such as legal support, marketing tools and resources, like a live team to help you build your Google presence, like whole 9 yards. Like, and that one's pretty pricey compared to the other 2. So what I always encourage people is, if you're even toying with the idea of the HR package, do it for a couple payrolls, see if you're using what you're using, downgrade. And then if you ever want to upgrade, you at least have seen everything, because my clients call me all the time and they're like, you didn't tell me X, Y, and Z is in this payroll package. And I'm like, well, honestly forgot, because they're constantly updating things and adding really cool things to the system. So, but yes, you can always upgrade. at any time. You'd want to do it through me though, and make sure that whoever is upgrading you isn't doing something slimy. I'm 100% on you guys' side, and I want you guys to know I'm not going anywhere. Like, I love ADP. I don't care what anyone says. I will live and die in this role.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Guys?
I have a question.
Yep.
And this may be for Tawana as well as you, Whitley. In regards to funding, what do you think is more preferential, to be a W-2 or 1099?
Honestly, yeah, I was about to say, I'll let Tawana take that. No,
Because I have a W-2 job right now already as well.
You have a W-2 job already?
Correct.
So if you're doing with this process of payroll, this is basically so that you can pay yourself because you're in your own business. So it would be more geared towards business. So if you're getting funding personally, then you have a W-2 form. I would do 1099 and then just have a great enrolled agent that's going to make sure that you have everything that you need and you have a great tax strategy. So yeah, you definitely probably want to talk to me, you know, after class, probably, you know, sometime this week, and we can kind of go from there with that. As far as the tax strategy goes, if you decide to do the 1099 route for funding.
yeah, and if you're an S corporation, if you file S corp, I mean, also, okay, I'm spitting this out. I'm not an accountant. I don't know anything, but I have been told, because I work with a lot of accounting firms, that if you are an S corporation, you should be a W-2. So I know that not everybody starts out like, you know, being an S corporation. I really don't know anything about all that. All I know is S corps, if you're an owner, you legally like have to be on payroll as a W-2, or you're supposed to. I don't know.
You're supposed to.
Interesting.
You know.
You're supposed to,
We'll
but
go
I mean,
there
it
later.
really doesn't matter. I mean, with us and with me and with ADP and with like in most cases, like none of it really, because almost everybody is in the same boat as us, where it's kind of like, as long as you're doing the right thing and you're getting systems in place and you're showing an effort towards tracking your payroll, tracking your income, and you're putting forth effort to show that you're paying taxes, whether that's the end of the year or during the year, that's all that matters. That really is, at the end of the day, all that matters.
Yeah, they just want you to give them some money. And I always my client, yeah, I'm serious.
Give
Like,
them no money. That's the thing.
that's the thing, that you know, you have to give them something, guys, you know. And the biggest thing is knowing that the IRS is a collection agency. Okay. You have federal and state, they're two different individual companies. They're not in the same. So just understand that they're there to collect. They're there and they're looking for money. And if you own a business, give them something. Do not give them something. Look at how much you make and literally have a tax strategy in place. And then that way you won't try to have it to where you're doing everything at the end of the year. You have to change your mindset according to taxes when you're in business. Instead of thinking as a consumer, you have to think as a producer. So therefore, everything has to be taxes. When I'm going somewhere, or I'm doing something and I'm getting dressed for an event, or, you know, I'm traveling or things of that nature, you have to look at it as a write-off. Anytime you're going to have a conversation, any conversation I have, whether I'm getting a massage or whether I'm going out to eat, I'm going to have some type of business conversation in some type of way. And that is my write-off. So when you look at things from that aspect of things, you begin to move different and you begin to have larger write-offs. Long as you are in compliance and things are set up to where your structure is correct, then you're good. But give them something. Okay, don't
Yeah.
just try to get it to where you have a total write-off, because that's when it's an issue, especially when it's time for you to get funding. Because if you have this business and you're supposed to be making $200,000 or you're supposed to be making $150,000, but then your actual tax returns say that your business lost, and then you have zero because you wanted to write everything off. You have to decide whether you want to be rich or poor. That is the main thing. You have to have a mindset of opening yourself up to have bigger tax breaks, to be able to have employees, be able to pay them, be able to, lease your cars. That way you can write things off. Or, if you're purchasing a vehicle and it's $200,000, a $200,000 car, or it's $2,000 a month, then you'll be able to write off $24,000 for the year if you're leasing it. If you're purchasing it and you're financing it, then you can write that whole $200,000 off for that particular year. So think bigger. If you think big, then you'll get the results you're looking for. When you think small, then you're only going to get peanuts. When you cannot get anything, then you know why. Make sense?
Woo.
I'm just saying.
Look, I need you to talk to my younger sister because she owns a business right now, and it is painful trying to explain that, because she's like, I'm gonna write this off, which is great, because right now she realized how much she owes in taxes because she refused to take a W-2 and she just wants to pay herself as a 1099. So she's been saving all of her receipts for everything, and she's like, that was her like mindset like the whole year, which is great because she wasn't bringing in like enough for it to make sense for her, I guess, to make herself a W-2. And I will say right now, like, she's realizing taxes are real and they're expecting a lot, and she's like digging through our house searching for additional receipts, like anything she can. And like, it is what it is. But Juan is right. I mean, if you're going to pay yourself and you're going to write everything off at the end of the year, cool, because you don't have to pay taxes, but you also didn't bring in, an income on paper in a sense by the end of the year. Throughout the year, though, you're fine. I probably shouldn't say that.
Well, it's you have to, you have to kind of scale up, and you have to then scale back, and you have to kind of see when you get your receipts and you have had a business dinner or whatever that is, because the tax laws are changing. It's 2023, and where you used to be able to, for your meals, you used to be able to write them off 100%. Now it's 80% that you're able to write it off, but it's going to go down lower and lower. So when you start looking at that, you have a lot more that it's a lot less that you're able to write off. So you got to think about those things and position yourself to make things balance. If you're making a certain amount of money, give them something. They will leave you alone. But if you are zeroing out and they keep seeing that you are doing this, but you say you are self-employed or you have your own business, then they're going to say, what are you doing? It's a hobby. You know what I'm saying? It's not a business, it's a hobby. And that's what you have to think about. You got to think about, you want to flex, you want to look good, you want to have the best of the best, but you're not really showing that. But then you want to go and you say, okay, I want to borrow $250,000. The bank want to know where they're going to get their money back from. If you're writing everything off, they're not getting their money, guys. They're like, we can't play with you because you got a hobby. We're doing business. You're not. So think about those things in that way.
But you have to pay stubs regardless. So. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for hopping on.
I will. Yes. I will let you guys get to it. Tawana, I don't know if you want to close everybody out or if you want me to just to hop off and you continue, or if like
we got about I'm gonna take them in for like 15 more minutes and then we're gonna close out after that. It's a couple of things that I wanted to say to them to kind of close them out. But yeah, we appreciate you jumping on and getting in here with us, even though you were not feeling well. Safe travels on your trip, and let's talk when you get back. And my people, they're not gonna let you down. They're gonna do what they're supposed to do, and we're gonna keep rocking and rolling, okay? And we'll have
Let me down. I'm not gonna let you guys down, I hope.
Thank you, Whitley.
But
Thank you.
no, thank you guys. And seriously, honestly, let's all connect before I leave on Thursday. I don't leave till Thursday night. So please feel free to reach out before. I hope you guys already have texted me. If you haven't, again, ask Tawana for my number. She has it. She'll share it with you. Send me your first and last name, and Tawana sent you. And I can't wait to talk to each and every one of you.
All right. Thank you so much, Whitley.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I said, it's about 16 of you guys in here left. We started out like 24 people. I'm glad that you guys came on here. I just kind of wanted to close things out with letting you know that the things that I am saying is totally true. And I want you to really, really be open, especially this year. Things are changing as far as taxes, as far as funding. And what I'm trying to do is bring you guys the right people, the right tools and the right resources so that you'll be ahead of the game instead of behind it. Because as things narrow in, if you are not positioning yourself to win, you will not win. Just like there was with PPP, now there is things going on from behind the scenes. Some of you guys know I just came from Jamaica. I just came back from graduating. I am now officially a loan broker, which I always was a funder. So still the same thing, but just on a different level. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm here to make sure that you guys get everything you need. What I wanted to bring Whitley on for is it's important to pay yourself first, but we also have some back end stuff that we will be sharing. My partner is in here somewhere. His name is Gregory. He'll be helping me out with a lot of different things, but we'll be helping you guys be able to once you get all of those credit cards and be able to step your game up and let those credit cards work for you, you'll be able to get reward points. We'll be able to teach you how you travel for free and how you get cashback rewards to where you'll be able to make money and leverage from your credit cards. It won't be a situation where it's just debt. That's why it's very, very important to make sure that you pay yourself, because you'll be able to learn how to flip credit cards. But we'll bring you guys on at a later date for that, okay? Because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I want to give you a little step at a time. Also, the retirement is so important, and I am going to bring somebody in from ADP for retirement. Every step that I take and everything that I do that's going to benefit myself and my business and what I'm involved in, I will bring it to you guys too, to make sure that you get the maximum amount of help that you possibly can. And also make sure that your money is really rapidly growing. So that's the important thing. And utilizing their money to make sure that you're getting assets versus having liabilities. Before we were having liabilities, but now we're having assets. So we're moving forward and we're utilizing their money, and we're going to teach you guys how to utilize their money so that you can get to where you're trying to get to. Okay. How does that sound, guys?
I'm sold.
All right then. All right. So like I said, I don't want to hold you guys, but if you have any questions for me before I get off the line, then you can ask them. If not, then I will let you guys know. But in a few more weeks, I'll be bringing on some other people, some other resources. We'll be sending out some emails, and we'll also have some in-person workshops and conferences coming up as well. We're just kind of taking our time and really, really putting things together so that it could be a benefit and you guys will be able to understand exactly what you're getting, why you're doing what you're doing, and really grow and so that it'll make sense, okay? Because a lot of times in business, you're just in business, but not doing business. So I want to make sure that you're doing business and can really reap the harvest that you're looking for versus putting out so much money and not feeling as though you're gaining anything, okay? So I appreciate you guys hopping on with me tonight.
This was good, Tawana. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So make sure you guys utilize Whitney. Go ahead and get that because you will need that, especially if you guys are coming to me for funding. You're going to need Whitley's service. And like I said, the ones that sign up with that for funding, you'll eventually see why you need it. So I don't want to go through the whole thing on here because everybody's not going to sign up. So if you're not going to sign up, you don't need my information.
Period.
Period. The ones that know, guess what?
No.
They know.
Yes.
I know. I know.
Because we is not playing no games in these streets.
No,
Okay,
No more.
guys. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, if you don't have any more questions, then I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys free. If you have a question, just go ahead and feel free and jump in before I get off. Any questions? No?
Is ADP your first recommendation for a payroll company?
ADP is my recommendation for a payroll company as of right now. If anything change, of course, I will let you guys know. But the reason why ADP is my first choice is because they have the resources and the tools that I need to make sure that my people get funding. Honestly.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
So I'm gonna make sure that you guys are okay. And so Whitley is my go-to person. But if anything change, of course, anytime I change, if I have to change my system, I will be changing you guys' system too. So just know
How
that.
soon? Okay. I'm sorry. How soon do you recommend we be with ADP before applying for funding if needed?
Okay, when it comes down to funding, I like to go ahead and get you started at least 3 months because
Good.
usually they'll ask for 3 months funding. It depends on where you are though. For a person that I'm dealing with for specific things, I'll let you know exactly what I need. Some people might need 3 months of funding. Some people might need 6 months of funding, but it just
Gotcha.
depends on what you need and what stage of funding you're in. If this is your first, second, or third processing funding, then you may need certain things and then sometime you may not. It just depends on what you need at that particular time. Now, one thing about ADP I do like, you can control your own narrative. And what I mean by that is if you want to run your payroll for 2 weeks, you can. If you want to run it every week, you can. If you don't need it, you don't have to run it, but your setup is still there. So therefore you won't be paying that $53 and some change. You understand what I'm saying? So when it's time for you to get funded.
So if you're using it, you pay it. If you're not using it, you don't pay it. Okay.
So you don't pay it unless you're using it, because you got to remember, for those of you that are 1099s and you are running, especially on the back end, if you are running it from a different standpoint, like I said, the ones that know, if you're running it from a different standpoint, you could run a lot of money in. But that's why I have Gregory on the other, he's in here somewhere. Will be able to help you guys, the guys that already have funding and need to have liquidation. We will be running liquidation for you from your credit cards. If you need it for, let's say, real estate transition, we'll be able to run that for 3%. So we're here to help you start out to build and also get to where you need so that that money can leverage you and you'll have money on the back end. Okay, so like I said, it's no need to go into details if you're not a part of my system. You guys will soon be able to come into a program and we'll be able to talk about certain things just in that particular group, but it's not for the whole world to have. So, I'm just going to give you a little bit at a time. Okay.
Thank you. I will be signing up, Tawana.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know.
I already sent Whitley my information. I sent her everything that she asked for. But a
Okay,
lot of people, I don't know who all is in my area, but the weather real bad here. So I don't know if that's why we lost a couple of people.
probably
Yeah,
so, because
the weather
it's
real
kind of
bad. That's
crazy.
why mine keep getting kicked off and coming back.
You must be in the Carolina.
I'm in Augusta.
Yeah, we got bad weather out here too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy, but I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I appreciate you jumping on and doing what you had to do. But like I said, we will be having some things to grow your money, but also leveraging other people's money, because I want you guys to know a lot of times, you know, you're like, okay, well, why do I need all these credit cards? Or why do I, you know, you need other people's money, but you only need their money if you have an idea that's really going to work it. And also you love travel, you love cash back, you can actually use their money to make you money and really put some money in your pocket and make that another stream of income. But you have to be open-minded to first get your life in order. And once you get your life in order, everything else will, you know, will just flow. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you guys flow. I want to help you guys travel. I want to help you guys have a great life and build the lifestyle that you want. And that's the way you do it, by, you know, making your name great, by actually taking your life and your business to another level and get the things that you're really wanting. I want to put the right people in front of you guys to make sure that happen. Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Well,
so much.
problem. And I will be talking to you guys sooner than later.
Yes, ma'am, you will.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good night,
Good
Tawana.
night. All
Have a
right.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.